The First Lady, Mrs. Aisha Buhari, yesterday disclosed that President Muhammadu Buhari, unknown to many people, suffered post-traumatic stress disorder (PTSD) for many years, following his involvement in Nigerian civil war without rehabilitation, his overthrown as military head of state, and subsequent detention for 40 months without being tried with any offense. Aisha said Buhari's loss of 3 consecutive elections further complicated the situation she was confronted with at 19 when she married him and therefore became the unintended physiotherapist for his recovery. Speaking as social guest of honor at the ground-breaking ceremony for the Armed Forces Post-Traumatic Stress Disorder Center, initiated by the Mrs. Lucky Irabo, led Defense and Police Officers Wives Association, the First Lady said she suffered the consequences of PTSD at an early stage in her marriage to the president. She cheated politicians who lost primary elections recently and had become almost inconsolable, with some making themselves unreachable by switching off their phones. The First Lady stated, "I want to thank the poor for this foresighted vision of establishing a post-traumatic stress disorder (PTSD) center for our soldiers. Indeed, PTSD is a mental health condition triggered by terrifying events. It is reality that soldiers and military families have to live with, despite its negative consequences. Being a soldier's wife or a retired soldier's wife and a wellness expert, I understand the challenges associated with PTSD and its impact on military families and the nation. My husband served in the Nigerian Army for 27 years before he was overthrown in a coup d'etat. He fought civil war for 30 months without rehabilitation. He ruled Nigeria for 20 months and was detained for 40 months without disclosing the nature of his offense. 1 year after he came out from detention, we were married. I clocked 19 years in his house. As his wife, legitimately, I suffered the consequences of PTSD because having gone through all this and at the age of 19, to handle somebody who was a former head of state and commander-in-chief of Nigeria's armed forces, to tell him that he is wrong is the first mistake you will make. So at the age of 19, I had to figure out how to tell somebody of his caliber that he was wrong or right. And that was the beginning of my offense in his house. And contesting election in 2003 and failed, 2007 failed, and 2011 the same thing, all without rehabilitation. I became a physiotherapist. Finally, the whole nation rose against the misrule of power and bad governance. It only succeeded when it became a movement. And here we are today. He ruled Nigeria before and is ruling Nigeria now. And this is the last time and final. Failing election for 3 times was a big blow to every contestant. But those that have contested for just yesterday, a simple primary election, they are still living in a traumatic condition. I tried to console them. I tried to talk to them. Some of them have switched off their phones up to today just because of a primary election. You can imagine myself at 19 years handling someone that went to war, suffered coup d'etat, then lost several elections and finally getting to the villa in the 2015. Also, for a woman to tell them that this is wrong or right in Nigeria and Africa is a problem. She commended the sacrifice made by the members of the armed forces and their contributions to nation building, saying that in case I want to use this opportunity to appreciate members of the armed forces of Nigeria for their sacrifice and contributions to the nation building. The fallen heroes remain evergreen in our hearts, and many with us are wounded physically and mentally. I want to appreciate their wives and families. I want to let them know that the whole nation is with them. Aisha stated that the PTSD Center was important to members of the armed forces and beyond, stressing that soldiers are the primary victims. She said the center is timely as PTSD is a problem that really deserved solution of this nature, and providing facilities for treatment and rehabilitation of patients is key. Therefore, funding rising is not the solution. The solution is the federal government that sent them to the war front, to take responsibility in taking care of the mental health of returnees from war front. PS, PTSD cuts across all ages. The president's wife then stopped the scheduled fund raising for the project and starts the scheduled fundraising for the project and pledged that the presidency and the armed forces will take it over. She stated, I thank the poor for the initiative and the military establishment for supporting them. I call on them to ensure that this center provides quality and sustained care for soldiers that suffer from PTSD. It is the responsibility of the whole armed forces to extract from their budget and build this center. Mrs. Irabo, it is no longer your project. It is my project and the project of Mr. President. We are going to work around the clock to make sure that it is completed and commissioned before we leave office, she said. So guys, I'm dropping it here. Kindly share your thoughts below.